Everton take the free kick, meant for the head of Trevor Stephen, runs over his head, and Ronnie Whelan, who's doing a fine job on the Liverpool left, back there to help his defence, lays it to Grobbelaar, and Grobbelaar gives it to Hansen, just outside his penalty area. Alan Hansen says, no thank you, you have it again, Bruce. And Bruce can now clear long. Tremendous kick by Bruce Grobbelaar, which bounces just outside the Everton penalty area, straight through to Southall. So far, unfortunately, it went too far for the Liverpool strikers. Southall can now attempt a similar clearance. He gets good distance as well, drops midway inside the Liverpool half to the feet of Sharp, runs to Stephen, back to Stevens, inside to Harper, forward to Sharp. Good play by Everton, but then it breaks down as Ronnie Whelan and Alan Hansen and now Jan Molby take it up, and Molby clears over the halfway line. It's beyond rush, and across comes Derek Mountfield, and his clearance out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool.
Yes, important match for Derek Mountfield. He's been out of the team since Dave Watson came here. He's never been in favour, although the crowd like Mountfield. He's a very popular player here, and I think he's played very well tonight.
And there is, I know, a strong feeling around the fans at Goodison Park that Mountfield and Ratcliffe make the better central defensive combination, and that Watson hasn't quite got the understanding yet with Kevin Ratcliffe. Nevertheless, Watson really in possession, or has been at least until tonight. Mountfield in for the injured Dave Watson. Liverpool take a free kick. Molby, good ball out to Walsh, far side of the field, 5 yards outside the Everton penalty area, cuts inside, chips towards Rush. Lawrenson's there, but the flag is up. Offside against probably both Lawrenson and Rush. Lawrenson nodded the ball down. Rush chipped the ball cheekily towards Southall, of no avail. Southall takes the free kick himself, short to point, and it wasn't all that bright a free kick by the Everton goalkeeper, but they've got away with it, and Ratcliffe can clear it long. Sharp with a header down just outside the Liverpool penalty area. Whelan gets there before Heath, whips it high into the misty night here at Goodison Park. Ball bouncing now inside the Everton half. Finally it's Poynton who makes it, hits the ball 15 yards to his right for Gary Stevens, who's applauded by the Everton fans, booed by the Liverpool fans. Stevens seen, at least by the Reds fans, as the culprit in the tackle that has brought Jim Beglin a broken left leg. Liverpool have possession through Irvin, who dances past Gary Stevens, cuts the ball inside the Walsh, just outside the penalty. Walsh shot, hits the post, and away from danger as far as Everton are concerned. Walsh has it again, just inside the penalty area. Chips it high, rushes there, can't make it, runs behind harmlessly in the end for a goal kick to Everton. But Paul Walsh, without a goal in 13 matches for Liverpool, took up the pass from Alan Irvin, who really left Gary Stevens, the England fullback, for dead on the far side of the field, and Walsh from 25 yards beat Southall with a shot, but not the post, Jimmy.
Well, this is the first time I've seen Alan Irvin. He's looked a little bit sharp. He's a big, tall, rangy lad, but he just took the ball up to Stevens and left him for dead. Came in at terrific pace, laid the ball to Walsh, and he looked a goal from here. Southall was beaten to the world. That's a let-off for that for Everton.
It was, to me, reminiscent of so many efforts that Ronnie Whelan has scored for Liverpool from that kind of position, just outside the penalty box on the left-hand side. Nevertheless, Everton on the attack once more. Ball swept in low. Heath can't make it. Hit high inside that Liverpool penalty area. Everton on the attack now. It's with Alan Harper. He's got Stephen short, 5 yards outside the Liverpool penalty area. Stephen takes on Lawrence and beats him. Whelan comes across. The attempted cross is blocked by Liverpool, and Johnston will hit it out of play, far side of the field. Throw in to Everton. And now, at least, as they say, we have a game of football. A throw in to Everton, half a dozen yards from the corner flag, far side of the field. Everton's fans find their voice. Stevens will take the throw, only as far as Hansen. Hansen's headed down, met by Alan Harper. Harper's chip inside the penalty area. Appeals for a penalty kick as Heath kept in the far, slipped in the far side, hit the ball into the side netting. There was certainly an appeal by Graham Sharp. I didn't see the incident.
Yeah, they were appealing there because they thought that Sharp had been held back. I think that was what the incident was. I couldn't see a penalty in it at all. I think the referee was absolutely right. He was right on the spot. And I think he's made the right decision there.
A quarter of an hour gone in the second half of this League Cup quarter-final. 0-0. Liverpool on the attack. Poynton beats Walsh to the ball and hits it back to his goalkeeper, to the relief of the Everton fans. And Paul Walsh hasn't done a great deal tonight, but I saw him at Main Road on Saturday, which was certainly one of his better displays for Liverpool. And just a couple of moments ago, ever so close to putting the double winners ahead in this very important Merseyside derby. Whelan hits it long, trying to find Johnston inside the Everton penalty area. An important headed clearance by Neil Poynton. Kept in play by Parr, but he hits it straight to Gillespie. Gillespie runs at the Everton defence. Finally is blocked out by Neil Poynton once more. Good young fullback this. Hits it forward to Sharp. Sharp out to Stevens, far side of the field. Stevens is robbed once more. I think he's going around in a daze, is Gary Stevens, the fullback. He's having a nightmare. Stephen back to help his fullback on that occasion, and Stevens finally hits it back to his goalkeeper and is jeered by the Liverpool fans.
Yes, I think it's definitely affected him, but on the other hand, every time he's had the ball, there's an old expression in football, you know, Alan, Liverpool are after him. Every time he gets the ball, there's always one or two red shirts, very keen to close in on him.
No score here at Goodison Park, but isn't it nice to say that there is football elsewhere in the country, and Mike Ingham can bring us up to date with the scores.
In Scotland, it's Aberdeen 2, Hearts 0 now. Willie Miller has just given Aberdeen the lead, and Celtic 1, Hibernian 0 in the other Scottish game. Rogan has scored there for Celtic. Reminder that the other League Cup quarter-final tonight, Arsenal look to be in the semi-final. They lead Nottingham Forest 2-0 in London. FA Cup third round, Newcastle 1, Northampton 0. And third round replays, Chelsea 0, Villa 1, Huddersfield 1, Norwich 4, and Brighton 0, Sheffield United 1.
Liverpool, of course, 4 times winners of the League Cup. 1981, 82, 83 and 84 when they beat, of course, Everton in a replay at Main Road. A Graham Souness goal from about 30 yards, I remember. A tremendous match that. 2 excellent ties, and probably that final was the one that got the Everton ship back on the road, so to speak, if that's not a mixed metaphor. Nevertheless, it is. That's a dreadful mixed metaphor. Anyway, Everton have a throw-in on this near side of the field. Everton twice runners-up in the League Cup. 1977 to Villa, and of course 1984 to Liverpool. Mulby hits it high into the Everton half. Ratcliffe gets his head to the ball. Poynton stabs his left foot at it. Everton struggling to get this one clear though, and Venison finally feeds Johnston forward to Lawrenson, and Lawrenson does well. Finds Johnston once more. Across comes Poynton. Good challenge by the fullback. Hits it clear. Only as far as Venison though. Venison to Lawrenson. And the Liverpool players are all over the place, actually. There's a tremendous bite about Liverpool in this second half. Rush forward to Walsh, just outside the penalty area. Turns, runs at the defence, inside the penalty area. Walsh crosses low, but Southall is down to save as Alan Irvine came in, and Liverpool have the bit between their teeth, Jim.
Excellent move by Liverpool, very sharp, started by Gillespie at the back, onto Venison. And when Walsh picked it up, there were 3 blue shirts in front of him. He threaded his way right the way through, got a good shot in, and Southall did well to save it.
No score here at Goodison Park. Let's quickly go to Highbury, where there's a penalty.
And it's now being taken by Forest, and it's been saved. Stuart Pearce took it. Great save there by John Lukic, the Arsenal goalkeeper, sprung to his left. And so Forest, I imagine that may just be the last chance of getting back into this quarter-final. They've blown it. It's still Arsenal 2, Forest 0. Nigel Clough was the man who was brought down. Brian Hill, the Kettering referee, immediately gave a penalty. Stuart Pearce, the Forest left-back, took it. He hit it to Lukic's right, but Lukic, of course, 6 feet 4 inches tall, a big man, spread himself, got all the way to the bottom of his leg post and turned the ball away. Marvellous save. Arsenal still lead by 2-0.
And I can tell you news from the South Coast, FA Cup third round replay. It's now Brighton 1, Sheffield United 1. Brighton's equaliser from Dale Jasper here at Goodison Park on Merseyside. 26 minutes left for play. Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Everton on the attack. Stevens forward to Stephen, back to Stevens once more. 5 yards in from the far touchline. That's the Everton right. Good ball inside to Sheedy. Equally good pass out to Stevens once more, who's level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area now. Plays it inside to Harper. Harper looking for Stephen, and Stephen is running away from danger as far as Liverpool are concerned. He's now lost 30 yards. Lays it back to his captain, Ratcliffe, inside the centre circle. Ratcliffe makes the move forward, decides to play it left to Poynton, and Poynton hits the first time cross to the edge of the penalty area. Graham Sharp went down, howls for a penalty. No chance, says the referee. Liverpool half clear the danger. It's with Lawrenson. Out to Whelan. Plenty of room for the Irishman. Far side of the field. Liverpool left. He's run 40 yards already. Finds Rush. Back to Hansen, the Liverpool captain. Inside to Lawrenson. Midway inside the Everton half. Good ball out by Lawrenson to Johnston. Near side of the field. Liverpool right. Johnston takes on Poynton. Beats him at the second attempt. Gets the cross in low. Headed clear by Ratcliffe. Out to Johnston once more. He's got Venison in support, but Johnston decides to let the ball run out of play for a throw into Liverpool, level with the edge of the Everton penalty area. Johnston takes it to Venison. Venison turns away from the full-back Poynton. Forward to Walsh. Walsh is inside that penalty area once more. Hits it in low. Mountfield clears the danger. Harper helps it away. Whelan's back there for Liverpool. Venison looks up. Just 5 yards outside the area, plays a 1-2 with Lawrenson. The danger man, Walsh in there once more, jinks past 2 Everton defenders, can't beat a third. The ball is behind, goal kick for Everton, and Paul Walsh playing quite well.
He's playing very well, yes, he's causing them problems every time it gets near the box, and Liverpool certainly on top at the moment. I'm just wondering what Howard Kendall's thinking, whether he might be tempted to put Ian Snowden into this match. I think that Everton at the moment have lost out in midfield. Sheedy's gone missing for the last 10 minutes.
Well, it's a cracking cup tie at the moment, even if we haven't got any goals. Alan Irvine fouled inside the centre circle by a combination of Harper and Sheedy of all people, who wouldn't say boo. Nevertheless, it's a free kick to Liverpool. Lawrenson takes it. 5 yards to his left for Hansen. Hansen has Whelan further left, but Whelan now drops back as Hansen goes forward, and Hansen looks up and hits a long ball to the edge of the Everton penalty area, headed clear inevitably by Poynton, and Poynton beats Johnston again when the ball is played back towards him. Power hits it down this near touchline, but it's run out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Liverpool midway inside their own half. Gillespie takes it to Mulby, and when you look at the way Liverpool are playing in this second half, it makes you think of the Dutch in the 70s, really, because they're just 10 red shirts and double iron goals, and the red shirts can pop up anywhere at the moment. They're all over the place, Liverpool, but I've got to say, still looking very, very composed and haven't conceded a great deal. There was a dreadful elbow in the face of Jan Mulby there by Graham Sharp. The referee gives a free kick to Liverpool, and it appears he's going to book Graham Sharp. Now, is that not a contradiction in terms?
Yes, but it's the right decision, because there was no question about it. Sharp, he didn't jump for the ball there. I saw it quite clearly. His elbow went up. Mulby's down on the floor. He's not that badly hurt, but he's got a whack somewhere around his nose. And Sharp went and appealed to the referee for what? I don't know, probably for leniency.
22 minutes left for play here at Goodison Park. We've reached the midway point in the second half. Mike Ingham will take us through to the close.
Thank you, Alan. Apart from the 20 minutes, I think, that followed that Jim Beglin injury, apart from those 20 minutes in which really absolutely nothing happened at all here in this cup tie, it's absolutely riveting stuff now. Jan Mulby receives attention, a little mopping around the eye from Roy Evans. We've got other scores coming in for you in the FA Cup, which you'll have in just a few moments. Mulby's okay. Liverpool will take the free kick after that Sharp incident. Sharp's been booked, the second player of the evening to be booked. Ronnie Whelan, I think, was booked in the first half after that Jim Beglin injury. Speaking to the referee, out of turn, and Liverpool's free kick. Knocked to the far side by Gillespie. The Liverpool left. Ronnie Whelan on the ball on the halfway line. Hits it 20 yards for Ian Rush, who's been dragged wide far side and carries the ball out of play. And certainly it's been interesting in the second half, watching Liverpool, that it really hasn't been the menace from Rush. It's been all Paul Walsh, conscious perhaps that John Aldridge joins the Anfield club next Monday, and Walsh certainly justifying his selection tonight. He got a nice vote of confidence yesterday from manager Kenny Dalglish, and all the Liverpool threat coming in the second half from Paul Walsh, who struck a post, of course. Liverpool throw far side.
Yes, I agree with you about Walsh. He's looked very lively since the break. But so far Everton have struggled to get anything together in this half. which makes me think that Howard Kendall might be thinking about a change. His team have been playing ever so well. I wonder if perhaps how much the Beglin incident has affected them. Sometimes it affects, you know, them as much as it does the other team.
Well, Jimmy was saying earlier that Gary Stevens has looked most edgy after that tackle on Beglin, and Gary Stevens will not be pleased to know that Bobby Robson is here tonight, the England manager, part of the 53,000 crowd. Bobby Robson, one of the spectators here tonight, will be watching many players out there as Liverpool try to hit a long ball from the back from Alan Hansen. Comes to nothing at all in that Everton penalty area. Neville Southall holds it, then just takes a little bit of the heat out of the moment and clears straight down the centre, looking for Sharp in the air. Sharp battling with Alan Hansen. Scotland there, all Scotland. Hansen's the winner. Irvine touches it through for Ian Rush, and it's Rush against Derek Mountfield. Mountfield goes in on the back of Ian Rush. Rush tumbles over, play on, says the referee. Rush looks straight at Neville Ashley there, but that was fair and square, that challenge from Mountfield. Back to Neville Southall, who's cleared very quickly, hoping to catch Liverpool here on the break. Everton pressing now. It's really zinging from end to end. It's Trevor Stephen now, far side, the Everton right, midway inside. Gary Stevens now on an overlap, the fullback. A quick cross from Gary Stevens. Grobbelaar at the near post, holds it very confidently. And like Neville Southall, he holds on. And Alan Green has those latest scores for us.
Yes, a third round FA Cup tie first of all at St James's Park. It's now Newcastle United 2, Northampton 1. That after Northampton had equalised. Andy Thomas with his second goal of the night for Newcastle. And two scorelines from Scotland: Celtic 1, Hibs 1, Aberdeen 2, Hearts 1.
26 minutes gone in the second half, this big Merseyside occasion. It's Everton 0, Liverpool 0, and I must say Liverpool deserve every credit here tonight for having to reorganise twice. First losing Beglin, then losing Steve McMahon, and Kenny Dalglish, I think, has got his substitutions right tonight, having Barry Venison a fullback in reserve, and Alan Irvine has done everything required of him, including almost setting up a goal for Paul Walsh. Ian Rush trying to get the better of Neil Poynton, but adjudged to have turned Poynton, and Everton take a free kick quickly, just inside the Liverpool half. Overlapping run now from Paul Power on the left. Power tries to screw the cross in. It was always running away from him, though, and his cross falls behind Grobbelaar's goal. Goal kick to Liverpool.
Yes, it was a smart move. Good, just required the finish from Power, because Everton had players up there in the 6-yard box. Sharp was on the near post, Heath was on the back post. The cross let him down. The quality of crossing so far throughout this match has not been particularly good, primarily because every time there's a centre coming over, there's defenders round about trying to put players off. It's very difficult for them.
27 minutes gone. Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Now Liverpool, it's their turn to attack, and this time Derek Mountfield leaps about 7 foot in the air and knocks it back with his head to Neville Southall. Southall booms the ball into the Liverpool half. Ronnie Wielenbauer playing as a left back is there, but Gary Stevens on the right flank for Everton, and it's really just going from side to side at the moment. It needs to come under control from Mountfield inside his own half, and Mountfield is caught accidentally there by Alan Irvine. That was a little unlucky. No malice there in that challenge from Alan Irvine, but Everton have been rewarded the free kick. And I suppose before the game, once again, we had eyebrows raised here when the news came through that Kenny Dalglish wasn't going to be in the 13. If ever a time, I suppose, was needed for the great man to come on, it was during that time when things were boiling over. But I must say that Alan Irvine has really sparkled in the second half. He's given Gary Stevens a hard time over on that far side. And now Liverpool looking to try and get Irvine in the action again. Edge of their own penalty area, though. The move breaks down and Trevor Stevens skips in again and finds Kevin Sheedy, who, as Jimmy Armfield was saying, has been a bit lost in the second half. But Everton now putting a few moves together. Stevens, Gary Stevens, crosses. It's going to fall away from Graham Sharp, but Alan Harper's going to chase to try and keep it in. And Sharp is out-sprinted by Craig Johnston. Johnston slips the ball in field to the danger man, Paul Walsh. Walsh laces a lovely 35. No, not quite, I don't think, for Ian Rush. Will Rush get there? Yes, he can. He just keeps it in far side. Steadies himself now by the corner flag, Rush, and then drags it back 20 yards to Whelan. Oh, Whelan played that a little bit too quickly and straight at an Everton player, but Liverpool get the ricochet. Lawrenson, and Lawrenson's chip is going to find Johnston just offside in the penalty area. Free kick to Everton, and Everton, Jimmy, must have been listening to you down there, because Ian Snowden at the moment is warming up, we see, just down the way to our left.
Yes, it was a lovely ball, though, from Walsh out to the left flank. I think Rush is probably one of the few players in the Football League who would have caught that. His pace there was tremendous to keep that ball in play. Liverpool is still carrying the greater threat, and I think Howard Kendall sensed that. And I think he must be considering putting Snowden on.
Snowden waits for his opportunity, perhaps. The ball in the air until Sheedy brings it down 25 yards, but Jan Molby is there looking very firm and very commanding, full of international class, oozing out of him there, Molby. The delivery wasn't too clever, though, to the far side of the field. But perhaps in the end he was just fairly happy to clear his lines because there were an awful lot of Everton players bearing down on him. Everton throw, far side. Gary Stevens looking for Trevor Stephen in the air. Now on the floor it is with Adrian Heath. Heath tucks it back. And Everton trying to put it through the midfield again. Trevor Stephen, that was a lovely ball to Gary Stevens. 20 yards out, far side of the field. Another early delivery from Gary Stevens. In goes Heath, and in goes Sharp as well. Everton appeal for a corner kick, but it was no deflection there. It's going to be a goal kick to Liverpool. Bruce Grobbelaar looking to take a short one, and he does do that for Craig Johnston. And Johnston will give it back to Grobbelaar so he can punt the ball downfield. 30 minutes gone, 15 left. 53, nearly 53,500 people here tonight. And it's absolutely pulsating stuff now, playing for a place in the semi-final, and it's Everton 0, Liverpool 0.